and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Nikki, and if you want to find out how I made this deliciously creamy absolute perfection of a flan de queso, stay tuned. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Like you can tell by the title of the video, today we are making flan de queso or cream cheese flan. This is one of my absolute favorite desserts. It is so quick and easy to put together. And as you can see, it doesn't require very many ingredients, and a lot of them I'm sure you already have on hand. As always, I will be leaving all of the ingredients and their measurements in the description box below. But for this recipe, you need a flanera. I'm using an aluminum one. I'll go ahead and leave a link below to where you can find one just like that. Do keep in mind these aluminum ones do get hot. If you don't have one of these specific molds, go ahead and just use any mold that you have. You can use a Pyrex dish or just any mold that is oven safe and can withstand high temperatures. You're also going to need 1 cup of sugar for your caramel that we're making, el caramelo, for our flan. You're going to need 1 can of condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk. You're going to need an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, a little splash of heavy whipping cream. This is optional. You can also use half and half or whole milk. I'm using Mexican vanilla blend, 4 eggs, and this is just my special little touch, but I add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and a pinch of salt. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start making our caramelo. What I recommend is that you use a non-stick pan, a non-stick pot, whatever you have that's non-stick, I recommend, because cleanup is just so much easier. All you're going to do is set your temperature to a medium heat, nothing crazy. You're going to just add your sugar, and then you're going to add a little splash of water. Don't touch it, don't mix it, nothing. Don't even look at it. Just kidding. Look at it, but just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Alright, so while we wait for our caramelo to be done, we're just waiting for our sugar to melt and caramelize and get to a nice golden brown color. Do keep an eye on it because it will go from really nice and golden brown to burnt real quick, and then you just have to trash that and start from scratch again. So do keep an eye on it, but this part shouldn't take long at all. So all we're going to do is mix together all of our ingredients in a blender. That's it. There's no trick, there's no catch. There's nothing complicated, nothing. Just all the ingredients I showed you at the beginning, throw them in a blender. And as you can see, I did cut my cream cheese brick into smaller pieces just to help my blender out and just to make sure that everything gets nice and combined. Once you've put in all your ingredients, just go ahead and pop the top on your blender and blend this. All I did was blend it at a medium speed, higher speed, and then boom, that's it. I would say don't blend it any more than 30 seconds. Go ahead and set this mixture aside. So just checking back on our caramelo, this is what it's gonna look like. It's in the process, don't get scared. It's gonna be scary, it's gonna look like it's never gonna come together, but I promise you it will. Trust me, trust the process. And I like to keep my flanera on the side because like that, the moment that it reaches that golden brown color and it's perfect, I can just take it off the heat immediately and add it into my mold. Alright, I warned you. I told you guys it was going to get scary. This is still on medium heat. What happened was that it bubbled up, all the water evaporated, and now it just looks like a dry mess. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I promise you, it's going to come together. See, told ya, we're making progress. So all you're gonna do is at this point, when you have like these bits of sugar and that golden caramel color, you're gonna go ahead and now I'm letting you, you're gonna take a non-stick spatula, you're gonna take a spoon, you're gonna take whatever you have, and you're gonna start mixing this and kind of just breaking down the sugar with the heat. If you need to turn down the heat to a medium low, go ahead and do that. Please just don't let this get past a golden brown color. break up your sugar, break it up, mix it around, and eventually when it is nice and smooth, take it off of your heat and you are ready to add it into your mold. Do keep in mind, guys, that anytime that you're working with sugar at this temperature, you're basically working with lava. So please be careful, because it is very, very easy to get really burnt. So what you're going to do is just scrape out everything, scrape it out. This is why I like to use a nonstick pan, and I love using a nonstick spatula for this as well, because you just get every little bit of it out. Now, the next part, you need to be really careful if you're using one of these molds. Actually, if you're using any mold, you need to be careful, because your mold will get extremely piping hot. So take a dish towel, take some oven mitts, take whatever you have to protect yourself from getting burnt, and then all you're going to do is turn this around really carefully and just coat the sides of your mold. You want to turn it around slowly a couple of times, coat the sides really well, and then you're just going to let it sit for a couple of minutes for it to cool down before we add in our mixture. So once our caramelo has cooled down for about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes, we're ready to start adding in our mixture. It's literally as simple as that. Take the mixture that we blended up earlier, and all you're going to do is add it in to your mold. If it starts cracking, that's super normal. It's going to crack. Don't freak out. Nothing bad is happening. It's completely normal. You will hear a cracking sound. Now, one of the reasons why I love this mold so much is because it comes with its own little top, and there's clamps on the side to keep it secure in place. However, I'm going to be making this, of course, guys, if you know me, I'm making this in my Ninja Foodi. So I'm making this in the pressure cooker. If you have a standard pressure cooker that you use on the stovetop, or you have any electric pressure cooker or an Instant Pot, you can go ahead and make this in there. Now, traditionally, you would make flan in un baño de María in your oven. So what you would do is just place your mold inside a bigger mold, or like a sheet pan, with a little bit of water reaching about halfway up your mold, and you would just cook that in your oven. For me, it just cooks so much faster in the pressure cooker, and I don't know, I just don't have to keep an eye on it. I can just throw it in the pressure cooker. That's why I like doing it there. So what I do to completely ensure that no water gets in this mold is I cover the top with a sheet of aluminum foil. Now, yes, you might be thinking, hey, but the mold has a top. Don't be fooled. The clamps will keep the top in place. However, if you're making this in the pressure cooker, water will get inside, or this happened to me one time, your mixture will bubble out. So please, to keep this from happening and you don't have to start all over again, go ahead and just add that sheet of aluminum foil over the top. Go ahead and secure the lid on top, fasten the clamps if you're using this mold, and you're good to go. So all I did was add 2 cups of water into my Ninja Foodi pot, into the insert. For me personally, I have found that 2 cups of water is the perfect amount, because once you put in your mold, your water level will rise just a bit, and 2 cups will ensure that the water is coming up about halfway up your mold, and that is exactly what you want. So what you're going to do is add in your flan just like that. You're going to secure the pressure cooker lid on top, and we're going to cook this on high pressure for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, don't touch it. Leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes, which is the time that it takes for the pressure to naturally release on its own. So there's a little red safety valve, and once that safety valve goes down, that's when you open up your pot. Do not release the pressure beforehand, just let it come out on its own, because you do need that extra cooking time. So I didn't film this part, but once my flan was done cooking, all I did was carefully remove it from my pressure cooker, and then I took the lid off and I removed the piece of aluminum foil. I made sure that my flan was set, and then I secured my lid back on and I put it into the refrigerator to chill for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Mine chilled for 8 hours, and it was cold, it was good, it was exactly how I liked it. You don't want a lukewarm flan, you don't want a warm flan. You do want this to be very chilled, and you do want it to be cold and set before you flip it onto your plate. So all I have is a Pyrex pie plate, just a regular Pyrex dish, and then I'm just going to jiggle it around a little bit. You can run a butter knife around the edges, but you do risk cutting into your flan since it is so soft and smooth. So I don't like to do that. I just give it a jiggle, and as you can see, some of the caramel comes up over the sides. And then all you do is just take your plate very carefully and you just whoop, flip the mold right on over to it. Now, I do like to use something that is a little bit deep. I don't like to use a very, very shallow plate because the caramel does come out and you don't want that to leak over. So I wouldn't use a regular plate for this because you do risk the caramel just like leaking all over the place, and yeah, it's a sticky mess. So if you have one of these pie plates, these are my favorite. And of course, we don't want any of this beautiful caramel to go to waste, so go ahead and just take a spoon and scrape any of the remaining caramel that's just on the bottom of your dish before you throw it into the sink to wash. Alright guys, and that is how my flan de queso turned out. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope that you guys give this recipe a try. If you do, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Of course, you know that I wasn't going to let this video end without showing you guys what the flan looks like once I cut into it. Look at this. So smooth, so creamy, so delicious. When you serve it, don't forget to add a spoonful of that caramel sauce over the top. Flan and caramelo, a match made in heaven. Guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!